Chops Garage is proud to be sponsored by Car Vertical, the largest online database of vehicle information. Use the link in the description down below to find the true history of your vehicle or one you're about to buy.
Oh fun, the BCA truck's here. We've got the first of our cars that we bought at auction the other day. The Kia isn't here unfortunately. Let's see how it pans out. It's a Chevy Spark. You know we love a Chevy Spark with a dented in door. Right, I'll get my GoPro charged back up again and we'll take a look at this. So everyone, we've got our two little buys side by side. So we've got our BCA auction buy and we've got our dealer part exchange buy. So let's have a look at the two of them and see how they compare to each other. Just out of interest, I thought it'd be a bit of fun doing back to back. Because both 2011, both around 80,000 miles, both small hatchbacks. So they are a pretty fair comparison with each other. Quite a big difference on price though. £1,966 delivered, £750 delivered. So let's see what the difference buys you. So first up, our BCA bike, which you saw coming off the trailer. I've got a crap bit of chrome trim on the front of it there, straight out the gate. Wheel trims are destroyed from having a look around it. So they'll need a new set of wheel trims. We've got a little ding down there. Nothing major, I mean we'll allow that for a car of this age. Paint could do with a good old polish up. Round the back's okay, I'm not seeing any problems there. Again, yeah, wheel trim's totally destroyed. The edge of the door here has been dinged in, so we need to apply that out a little bit and treat the edge of it so it doesn't get too rusty. Might be worth putting some of those door trim things on the edge, sort of cover that up. It's not a car to spend money on paint on, not when you paid £1,966 for already. So yeah, we're going to need wheel trims all round. I don't think we really need to get paint out in any major way on it at all, like I say, touch up that corner. So bodywork wise, not too bad. So how about the Chevy Spark? I haven't actually said, I'm assuming people know what the models are. We've got a Peugeot 106 with a 1 litre 3-cylinder and a Chevy Spark with a 1.2 4-cylinder. We have steel rims and they always get a bit crusty, so these always done these lots of times before, you'll have seen on the channel. So wire brush these down, give these a coat of paint. This I've got a brand new tyre on the front there. Bodywork's really good down this side. This will all buff up nicely. Rear bumper's got a very minor scratch on it, but again that'll clean up quite nicely there. The bodywork's really good. There's only one place it's let down, is with a big ding in this door. So we are going to replace the door. Now luckily I found a door for £60 and Adrian is on the way on picking up a very interesting car that we're going to have on the channel soon. And I've managed to route him via Bristol, where a guy's got one of these doors in this colour. So 60 quid for the door. So we're going to be up to, what did I say? We're going to be up to 810 already on that. So there is a bit more to spend on bodywork wise, but the rest of it is actually really clean. Some dents in the roof, actually just spotted some. Is there? Yeah, actually only minor. They're only shallow, they'll be alright. So yeah, bodywork wise, that's really not going to need a lot. I could try and replace that piece of trim on the front there, but that'll probably cost me as much as that blooming door, wouldn't it? So that might have to stay as it is. I don't like it though. I think I will have to track one down. It's, even just talking about it's bothering the hell out of me, so we'll have to see about getting hold of those. Let's have a look at the interiors on them. So basic in this, isn't it? Seats need a wet clean. Little bit of fraying on the edge there. Wind up windows, because it is a base model one. It's very rare to not have a cracked hazard light. I don't know why, but the plastic on these cracks all the time. We do have CD radio with an auxiliary input, so we've got the all important auxiliary input. The rest of the trim seems alright, but there isn't a lot of trim to be wrong, is there really? Because there's nothing really. So with our get fit windows, I mean, what does appeal to me is, you know, you don't have anything to fix. There's nothing really to go wrong in here. The really thing, unless your stereo's playing up, everything else should be working as is, shouldn't it? So yeah, interior seems alright. Let's have a look in the boot. We only got one key with this one, and it's not remote central locking, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. What's going on with this? There we go. So yeah, the key shouldn't be too expensive to do. Oh, got my finger caught underneath. Yeah, not too bad. Dog hair, so that's going to need, luckily there's not a lot of it to have to clean up though, is there? So interior condition alright. Like I say, there isn't an awful lot to be wrong, is there? Let's have a look at the Chevy. Now this will be higher spec. I rave on about what good value for money these are. This will be higher spec without a shadow of a doubt. So straight away we've got electric windows. Now this does need a more thorough clean. We've got, the seats really do need a proper wet clean, but I'm confident those will come up. Carpets need a wet clean as well. Looks like it might have been sitting around a little bit, this car. But yeah, we've got electric windows. What else have we got? Air conditioning, USB and auxiliary input on the stereo. And it's just a bit of a nicer interior trim, isn't it? It's just got a little bit more character to it inside here. And obviously this one also is 5-door, that's only 3-door, so that's another big bonus. So again, the rear seats here, they all need a wet clean. Well, we've got some furry carpets down there, so there's a lot of cleaning to do inside this one. But it's not misting up massively, so I don't think there's any major damp problem. I think it's just been sitting around. But we'll get it all cleaned up. In the boot, oh yeah, you have to release it from inside on these, don't you? Yeah, so again, just needs a really good clean out. So the yeah, we need to do something about this up here as well. This happens with all the Chevy Sparks. They all get rust up here. It's just surface, it doesn't go very deep as long as you catch it now. So we'll treat that. And then get some paint on there. Right, okay, so interiors wise, that's cleaner, but there's not an awful lot about it. This is going to need a lot more time spent cleaning on it. Mileage on the Chevy, 88,881. Let's check. Start it up, look for engine lights. Oh. There we go. Yeah, no engine lights, no warnings. All good on that front. We've got a lot of fuel in this. A little run around in this, I think. History wise, let's have a look, see what we've got. We'll have a look in the Peugeot in a second. So we have got all the handbooks, we've got a load of receipts here. Stamps in the book, what have we got? Let's have a look, see. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Nothing after that. So we'll have to go through the receipts and see if there's anything in the receipts. It wouldn't worry me too much because these are tough as old boots, these engines. They really are. I haven't, touched wood, ever had a problem with one of the engines on these. So I'll have to be careful because I might give the customers information away on that. But we've got some other receipts in there, so I imagine there might be a couple more services kicking around. So the auction car, BCA, service history wise, nothing. I've got no paperwork at all. I have a logbook. That's the only thing I've got. So that's a minus for this one versus the Chevy. Again, these are super tough little engines. If you get them and they're not smoking, then to be honest, they're chain driven, so oil and filter and you're good to go again. So isn't really too much of a problem on these, as is that chain driven. So, and the engines are so cheap, if you did have a problem, they're easy as hell to fit over. But this one seems to be running okay. We'll have a look in the engine bays now. So engine bay on our auction car. I do like his space in these. There's just so much room to get around, and like I say, if you do need to swap anything out, it's super easy. So it looks like we've had some poor filling of oil. It's a bit greasy there. Coolant level is there, but it's at the sort of low level, I'd say, just off where it should be on that side of things. Depends how much oil we've got in it. These are tricky ones to get out on this one. Initial signs are the oil looks fairly clean, so there may well be a history that just wasn't given in with the car. We're never going to know now though, unfortunately. And the oil level is about 2/3 of the way up. So hold on, checking the right side. Let's just double check that. The oil level is low, needs about 700ml in it to top it back up again. So are they regularly having to top it up or not? We don't know. I'll have to do that through test driving. We'll see if that's the case or not. But again, doesn't worry me too much with these engines because they are super tough little units, and if you needed to get one, it would, you know, they're cheap as chips to swap over. It's not something we want to do because it's going to obviously add to the cost. Let's have a look at the engine bay in the Chevy. So Chevy, the coolant level is pretty much where it should be. Signs of a little bit of leakage around the power steering reservoir there, but that's pretty common on these. I've seen that on most of them. Oil level again seems low. Let's double check. Looks like a brand new alternator belt on this, and some work's been done on it fairly recently. Oil levels low, same as the Peugeot really, so we can't knock them against each other on that front. Again, they're tough little units, they don't tend to be too much of a problem. We can have an idea of what the servicing's like on it by just whipping off the old air filter box. Could have done that on the that as well actually. The air filter, yeah, it doesn't look like it's been changed for a little while. So I think they're both sort of a bit weak on the old servicing front by the looks of it, which isn't unusual when cars get to this age and this kind of value. People are running them on budgets. The rest of the engine bay looks clean and tidy. Again, I can't see any major leaks from anything. It all looks pretty dry. So yeah, about level pegging on this, I'd say. So the car part test in the Chevy. Let's see how we get on with this one. Clutch about halfway. Changes gear all right. Braking, yeah, brakes all right. Not hearing anything from the suspension. Goes into reverse all right. Now this one needs an MOT. The other one came with an MOT on it. It's about 10 months, so we're not going to have to do too much on that front. So that's one advantage for the Peugeot over this, but hopefully this wouldn't cost more than a couple £100 to get for an MOT. I've not had one yet that's cost more than that, famous last words. Other than one I think I needed to put a gearbox in actually. There was one with a bad gearbox. Only problem I've really ever had one, but no, brakes okay. Can't remember if that sounds a little bit like it might have an exhaust leak or not. Can't remember exactly how vocal these are, it's been a little while. That could get expensive if it does need a exhaust. So mechanically there's nothing obvious straight out the gate that looks like it's too much of a problem. Right, Peugeot starts alright, idle's okay. Clutch again, little higher than the Chevy, but these are manually adjustable cable ones. It's still not near the top, still nearer halfway. Gear changes on these are woolly at the best of times. We're looking for if there's any crunching or anything. And the 3 cylinders sound pretty awful all the time anyway, so it's hard. Unless you're seeing smoke, you're okay. Yeah, seems to be going through the gears all right. Seatbelt alarm works on this one to frustrate you all. I'm not feeling anything within the gearbox or the clutch that worries me. Braking wise, okay. Let me put the seatbelt on a second. So seatbelt on now. Yeah, I mean, brakes, well, it's had a very recent MOT, so one would hope it was going to be alright. I think the only thing we'd really need to do prep wise to this is just a quick safety check and a service, oil and filter service, and then other than that I don't think there's much to do to the car, to be fair. So there we have it. Both seem fairly mechanically sound. They seem to drive about okay. So this one's going to need quite a bit more work because it needs the MOT. It needs a really good clean up. We need to paint the wheels. This one looks like it just needs a safety check and a service, so that's going to require less work. But realistic retail wise, at a push, probably 2795. So after VAT, which will come in at around about £140 after a service, you know, we might make £400 possibly, with a warranty as well. This one probably is worth the same, 2795. We've got, like I say, with delivery 750 into it, with the door, we've got about 810, then a service, then we've got the VAT and so forth on it. This one we probably might make a bit more, maybe £800 out of. So it's all going to come down to that MOT. So comment down below, which are you figuring is the best buy? I'd be interested to hear. So which do you think is the best buy? And if you were to choose one of these little cars as I run about, based on them both having new MOTs and being serviced, which would you go for? Anyway, hope that was of interest. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up underneath. That's the most important metric you can do to help this channel on YouTube. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Cheers guys, thanks a lot, bye.